name is Paul Pasolka, Ivy Masters Learning Center and ivmasters.com, and today we're going to look at Test 3, Section 1, number 16, which reads, as used in line 58, credit most nearly means. How do you treat the type of question? First, you've got to ignore any meaning of the word you're familiar with. Why? Because the College Board loves to put a simple word like credit and then give you the correct answer is a definition that you didn't even know credit could mean. Okay? Number 2, you could also think of your own word that would fit in place of credit and see what best matches among the answer choices. 3, you could put each answer choice in place of the original word. And 4, you might have a word that's a synonym before or after the word itself. Okay? Now this still is a line reference question. So for line reference questions, remember we should read before and after, and sometimes there's a hint whether you should read before or after. If you're not sure, read both. But let's go up to line 58 and see the word credit. So it's over here. If you credit the demographers, this transient trend has legs. What transit trend is it talking about? Whenever you see the word this without it either or those, you want to read before it. What is the transit trend? So we read before it, and let's see. And some cities have transformed their streets into cycle-free pathways, making giant strides in public health and safety and the sheer livability of their neighborhoods. In the process, turning a workaday bicycle into a viable form of mass transit. So it sounds like it's talking about mass transit, traveling by something other than a car. And if you credit the demographers, this transit trend has legs. And what's meant by has legs, it's kind of an idiom, an expression. And it's saying that it's not like it's only in one part of the country. This idea is spreading, or the world, this idea is spreading throughout, taking something other than just cars, taking bicycles and such. The millennials who reached adulthood around the turn of the century and now outnumber the baby boomers tend to favor cities over suburbs and are far more willing than their parents to ride buses and subways. So before it's talking about bicycles, after it's talking about buses and subways. So if you credit the demographer, this trend has legs. What's meant by credit? And you could try to think of your own word. Let's say you have trouble thinking of your own word that would fit there. You could also put each answer choice in place of the original word. Would you say, if you endow the demographers, this transit trend has legs? So endow is it's kind of like to give power to in this context. So the demographers, they just study the trend. They're not changing. They're not the trend setters. So endow is not going to work. If you attribute the demographers, you wouldn't attribute the demographers. You might attribute a characteristic to the demographers. That doesn't make sense. If you believe the demographers, this transit trend has legs. Now, demographers might come out with some theory that says that, hey, people are taking public transportation more all over the world. And then if you believe this demographer, this transit trend has legs, and then it goes on to give support to that people all over the world are taking public transportation. If you honor the demographers, it's not like you're going to be like, hey, we give the demographers this award, and then all of a sudden what they say is true. The award comes after they accurately predict what's happening or give an accurate study or assessment of what is happening. So the correct answer here is going to be believe. Did you know that credit means believe? A lot of times students will read the word credit and they'll say, credit doesn't mean believe, and they'll eliminate it automatically. But it is the word that fits the context best. You've got to decide these 100% based on context, 0% based on what you already know of the word. Remember, this is not vocabulary, it's vocabulary in context. Thank you for joining us today. If you like this video, click like. You could share it with someone who has trouble with vocabulary and context questions. If there's any question you'd like to see answered from any official PSAT or SAT or ACT, leave that in the comments. I'd be happy to shoot a video on it. And click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Have a great day.